Hi, Ani. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Elena. Great to be here.
You're most welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what is your passion, and how do you help other people to be better every day?
Well, my overall passion is traveling,
Mm-hmm.
but what I love to do is help people live pain free, not to accept the body pain that they were given maybe at the time or they're living with chronic pain. Help them find solutions. If I can provide the solutions, steer them the right way to find a solution because most of the time solution exists. They just haven't found one yet. And inspire them not to quit and keep looking for the solution.
Yes, it is such a big value in helping people to live pain-free because it is really such a challenging, yes, to live with pain. And those people who don't feel pain, they even don't understand how challenging it can be because we take it for granted. Yes, to live every day and just feel fit and good. But when we think about people who really suffer from pain, yes, this is such a great thing which you do, great job which you help people. So let us know a little bit more about it. It makes me to think that you had some experience in your life that you overcame that pain, and then this is how you decided to help other people with your experience. Is it true?
No, actually, surprisingly, that's what a lot of times people get into these health industries, become practitioners or healthcare providers because they lived through that pain and they overcame. And now, as you said, they want to help others. That wasn't my case at all. I growing up, I was an athlete. I play volleyball for Armenian national team, traveling all over former Soviet Union. Yes, I injured myself often, as most athletes do, we do get injured. But my bachelor's is in kinesiology. And
Mm-hmm.
so I also studied medical massage back home. And then when we moved to US, I reinstated my diploma and I wanted to continue my education. But helping people get out of pain, it was not only a challenge, but honestly, I would get upset when I come across person that says, oh, my doctor said that pain is normal for your age, or that's the card I was dealt with. I just have to learn to live with this pain. And that really gets me like worked up.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the driver for me to really specialize in pain relief, to take as many advanced, trainings, modalities, to come across several like doctors, practitioners that created very unique pain relief techniques and study from them. Also, why I got into functional nutrition and genetic testing. So when I'm addressing the client, when it's appropriate, I can look at their blood work, I can look at their genetic blueprint and really create a personalized plan for them so they can, especially this is for people that have been living with chronic pain. So we can figure out what's the source of their pain and what's the best way to get rid of it and make it sustainable.
Yeah, yeah, very interesting. So, what is the most common sources of pain that you saw in clients which who you
Well,
help?
majority people come to see me for neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain.
Mm-hmm.
But interestingly, a lot of times, like I would say over 90% of the neck pain that I have observed, it's because of their tight jaw. They clench, they grind their teeth. Some are very aware of it, some are not at all. And so even a couple of weeks ago, I had a client came to me for lower back pain. His jaw was so tight. I just released his jaw. I do a lot of jaw release, tongue release, and went back, checked his lower back, and most of the pain was gone.
Mm.
So it's the so those are the main pains I see. I also see a lot of like plantar fasciitis, foot pain, knee pain, hip injuries, hip pain. But neck, shoulder, back are the majority of the pain I see in my office.
Yes, did you find any connections between the pain and the way how they think and feel?
Oh, absolutely. It's so funny you said that because yesterday I did a video on my YouTube channel, which I do like every Monday and Friday. I publish a video. And yesterday one spoke about like usually I come across three types of people. The people that do regularly, every action step they take, they exercise, they stretch, they do maintenance appointments, like with me to stay pain free. And sometimes they come see me, they don't have pain, but they want to make sure that their body is aligned, everything, so they don't get pain.
Mhm.
Majority of people wait until they're in pain and then they wait a little bit longer, hoping that pain will go away. I'm sure we've all done it, right?
Mhm.
And then they come see me and they want that pain to be gone in one session. But there are people, so, some the people that get over pain much easier is the ones that they don't own their pain. Like they don't say some of the words think they say, oh, my back is no good, or I'm a mess. You know, these are the people I have to say, well, your back is hurting today, or it's a temporary, it's a pain that you have now. Like, don't own that pain.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Like, the comments people say sometimes without thinking, but I believe in energy, even though I love science, but I also believe in, we're energetic beings and everything we say, the words we say has energy. So when you say I'm a mess or my back is a mess, you own that pain. So just helping you to reframe a little bit, that's going to make a difference in you getting over that pain.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So it is not that you are pain. This is like you have pain
For
now,
now,
but it is not
exactly.
that you are cause or your back is pain. Yes, because you shouldn't identify yourself or part of your body that it is pain. Yes, this is something
Exactly.
that you have, and this is something that is not you. Yeah, so this is very important at level of subconscious. Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
once you start accepting that you are pain, your back is pain, this is become part of you. This is what you believe, and this is
Exactly.
Mhm. Yes. And also, you said interesting that people who have pain, that many in many cases it relates to the stress in their jaw,
Mm-hmm.
right? So also, I think that this is relations why they have stress in the jaw. Why when people like do like this when they press their teeth, because when they stressed, yes, when they stressed, when they nervousness have this nervousness, when they maybe worry or have
Mm-hmm.
doubts about themselves, and this becomes like reaction, physical reaction, but this is reaction is as a result of emotions which they live through, right? Which they have, and those thoughts, emotions, they make their body to do these things, and this is later because it becomes a habit, reflection, yes, of thoughts, different triggers, they just do like this, and this is what causes the pain because these muscles
Mm-hmm.
also connect with shoulder, neck, and this is all create spasm. So I would like to discuss a little bit about this, so how we can prevent having pain by being in relaxed, like controlling that states when we are stressed and how not to be stressed. Yes, how to become aware and put yourself in relax mode. And
Mhm.
this is how we can prevent being in pain, because pain is already like alarm, right? Like you did so many things, so many years maybe, and then it just come to some extent that your body just gives you that pain to show you something, not do this anymore because it is already so much. And then people only understand, oh, now I have pain, now I have to do something. But if we go backwards, yes, let's go backwards and see what can be the cause of that, and how people can prevent many years. As you said, many people even come to you to prevent the pain in future, so they already understand that now when I feel good, now I have to be conscious about not doing certain things or doing certain things in a certain way to keep healthy and not have these problems anymore.
Exactly. The pain, as you mentioned, it's your body ways of like raising a flag, like pay attention, something is
Mhm.
off, you know. So having a pain is, in a sense, when you get pain, is a good thing because your body's telling me, I need you to pay attention to this part of the body. But
Mhm.
as you mentioned, you know, there are things that they have done that brought them to this level. So, what can be done? As you mentioned, a lot of it, stress plays a huge role. Now, we live in a society that you cannot not have stress. It's a part of our life. And there are statistics that have studies done that small amount of stress is actually very good for your body. Short period, small stress is good for your body because sometimes it actually can improve, strengthen your immune system. It can help you cognitively think better. Like for me, I love living things last minute because I do it so much better. When I say, oh, you know, I have time, I'm gonna like do it early, I just cannot do it. But it's last minute, my brain functions so much better. But when it comes to, okay, what can I do to prevent so I don't tighten my jaw, is having that awareness of, okay, I'm in a stressful situation. Because when you're in a stressful situation, let's say someone cut you off at the when you're driving on a freeway, or you're about to cross the street and all of a sudden this car comes. Okay, it's a stressful situation that you cannot help it. But there are techniques you can do to make sure that, because when you're at that situation, all of a sudden you're going to tighten up everything and jaw, and then your neck gets all locked up here. So there's a technique I love to teach my clients. And it's interestingly, one of my clients, when I taught her this technique, she said, Ani, as long as I do that technique, when I feel stress coming up, my jaw doesn't tighten anymore. So
Mhm.
this is a really simple technique. If you put your thumb behind your this chin bone, your mandible, there is a soft spot there. So you slightly press your thumb there. Do you feel that soft spot?
Mhm.
You slightly press your thumb, not hard. Make sure your head is neutral because a lot of times people concentrate on pressing here, they end up doing this. So keep
Mhm.
your head neutral. Now press tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. See, under your thumb, it becomes harder, right? You
Yes.
hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds. What that does, it relaxes your masseter and your temporalis, your chewing muscles. It relaxes them. So that's one of the techniques. Make sure when you're in a stressful situation, this doesn't get tight. You just do this. Or I even teach this technique to clients that come to me because they regularly clench their jaw. I have them do this technique several times a day, and it really relaxes their jaw.
Mhm.
So that's a really simple technique to do, and you can do it anywhere. Nobody's going to know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a simple technique, but being aware of it and then doing a technique that's going to prevent you tightening it. That's, again, it's like creating this chain reaction that doesn't end you up in pain.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. It's a great technique, and I'm sure that people who listen to us can use this in their everyday practice. And again, everything starts from being aware, because many things
Yes.
we can even do without being aware. But after you listen this episode with us, so you can become aware of different reactions of your body to different thoughts, different states, and this is how you can be in control. Yes, not to let your body get blocked and have that stiffness.
Tensed up.
Yes, and in future cause this pain, uh, feeling the pain. Yes, and another thing that I would like to tell you is discuss with you also that about pain in the body, how it comes. Like usually, what we notice when we did some study that when people have stress, this stress doesn't go anywhere. It is stay in their body. Yes, and then they can feel it at different even spots. When I speak with my clients, sometimes I we do this exercise that then they relax and they try to find out where that stress in their body is, and then
Mm-hmm.
we do certain techniques to relieve that stress so they don't find it anymore. Yeah, so
Yes.
do you do anything like these practices just to help people to remove that stress which they accumulated for many years, and they hold all this, maybe um, situations when they were maybe mm, having not good experience, like maybe they cannot forgive somebody. Yes, that maybe they
Mm-hmm.
were hurted. Yeah, somebody hurt them in the past, and they can hold all this um, that anger, or maybe those feelings to be of being hurt in their body, and this is like carrying heavy bag everywhere you go. And this
Mm-hmm.
also through years, it also can manifest all those negative emotions which we carry. They can also manifest in physical different diseases, right? And pain is
Mm-hmm.
one of them.
Yeah, interesting you brought that up because sometimes the pain, like you said, can the emotions, the emotional trauma throughout the years can kind of lock themselves in certain parts of the body. And I've had a couple of times and experiences with the client, like I'm working, let's say, on the shoulder area, and I would ask them to, like, whatever technique I do, I'd ask them to breathe through it, and then all of a sudden these emotions come up with the client, and the client starts crying,
Mhm.
and it wasn't because of what I was doing. It's just that brought up that pain, forgotten the emotions that they were like holding right there, and it
Mhm.
just releases that.
Mhm.
So even though that's not, I'm not a therapist, I'm a body worker, so it's outside of my like scope of practice to say, oh, you have pinned emotions here, like I'm going to release it. But that has happened several times, and it happens outside of hours. Like I don't intentionally go and say, well, I feel like you have pinned emotions in your, buttock area, let's release it, because that's not what I'm trained for. But while working and incorporating the certain breathing techniques and working with the client's breath, sometimes does that, it does happen. But one of the things I do, usually I start, and I think that one of the reasons my clients get such good results is, first, when I start with the client, is balancing their nervous system, because a lot of times people come and their nervous system, their sympathetic nervous system, that fight flight, is so up here. They're constantly here.
Mhm.
So it's hard when you're constant up here, it's hard for any practitioner to go and relax the muscles. So first I need to calm it down. So I teach my clients some techniques like we've heard, there's so many videos about vagus nerve, stimulating the vagus nerve because it's a very calming, it's a parasympathetic driven nerve. So I teach them or walk them through certain techniques that will relax the sympathetic nervous system. And it's amazing to see the change in their body. I had this one client, she came, her dentist sent her to me. And usually when a dentist refers me client, I know it's because of TMJ. So she walks in, and I knew from her intake form that she filled out before she came to the office that she had TMJ for a long time. She's gone through Botox injections, which can be very expensive, and you have to keep repeating it. It's not a cure, it's just a maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes to the office. I go to my waiting room to bring her to my treatment room, and this lovely middle-aged woman sitting there with her purse is like this, holding. So I
Mm-hmm.
take her into my treatment room, and I'm about to, you know, ask her like how you're doing today. She burst into tears. And I'm thinking, forget TMJ. This woman has so much stress. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's what I need to address first. So I walked her through a couple of techniques. You should have seen her facial expression. You should have seen her body. It went,
Mm-hmm.
it was amazing. And then after that, it was so much easier for me to address her jaw. And I think after that session, I saw her one more time and she had no more jaw pain.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing how just few techniques can help people, yes, to live totally different life. Yes,
Yeah.
and
And like you said, a lot of times they're not aware of it, that
Mhm.
it's the stress somewhere else that's causing their pain. When you bring the awareness, then now they're paying attention to it. And now they're more just like, oh, yeah, I can do this. And then I don't have to live with this pain. So it's amazing. I love it.
Yes, yes, indeed. And another thing that I would like to discuss related to this topic is that people shouldn't be afraid to express emotions, because this is unexpressed emotions if they were hurt or had some negative experience. And usually people are conditioned, especially men, yeah, especially boys, yes, that they are told that you are boy, you are man, you shouldn't cry, you should be strong.
Mhm.
Yes, and so these conditions, like for example, crying is just for girls, yeah, like you should be strong, you are man, you should be like whatever, you never should cry, yes. So and the boys, when they grow up, and they, what they do, they suppress the emotions, yes, because they can feel but they cannot express what they feel. Yes, and this becomes a habit. And suppressed emotions, they again, they get stored in the body, and then can be something even small happen, but they became so much, they then they can just like,
First.
yes, and they can even harm themselves or even harm somebody else, or even just do something that out of their control, and they don't even understand why it happened. And also if they just start suppressing them, yes, again, it it comes out through different diseases, like through pain or different disease, because
Mhm.
the energy can be just like put in the jar, right? And like locked there.
Suppressed. Yeah,
Yes,
you
you
can
you
suppress them.
yes, you can suppress just to some extent, but you cannot. If you suppress it, it means that it has to come out somehow. So in many people, it comes like depression. Yes, like suppressed those emotions can be come to depression, and in other it can be uh, diseases. I see that many people who have cancer, they have those guilt, or they have guilt for something in the past, or they didn't forgive somebody. They just are hurt, and they are feeling that hurt through their life. And this is how this energy can just find physical form to show up. That is why it's so important to encourage our listeners to feel themselves. Yes, to feel. And if you listen to us now and replay, and if you have any pain, you just think about where it can come from, what can be the source, because the source of the pain can be some situation which happened maybe like 10 years ago or 20 years ago, but you didn't work, we didn't leave it, you didn't release it. And this is how through years it just get in physical form in different pain or different diseases. What you would
Yeah.
say, Annie?
Yeah, no, you're so right. It's so interesting. Sometimes when I get clients at the office, especially when they say, at one day my pain just came on. I didn't have an injury, I didn't have any trauma, I didn't have any accident. It all of a sudden came on. This is when I ask them, what was going on in your life around that time? Because I want to understand, is this an emotional component of their pain? Because it's very different, like you said, treating the emotion, the pain that came on because of they went through something emotional and that manifested as body pain, or it's a structural, musculoskeletal, or nervous system, injury, trauma.
Mhm.
So those are the question I usually ask my clients when they don't say, "Oh yeah, like I had a car accident and now it hurts here." But on the other hand, also when you brought up the men, yeah, we grew up in a society, especially me being Armenian, you're men, you have to be tough. Then boys don't cry, don't be a sissy, you know. And it's so interesting. I'm very grateful that most male clients that see at the office, they're very open with their emotions. But
Mhm.
some, I feel that I cannot go there. I just cannot say how you feel, or like, is this emotional? Because I know they're just not open to that.
Mhm.
And it's not my place to tell them, I feel that your body pain coming from emotions, because I'm just feeling that that's not the person that is going to say, oh yeah, I'm feeling, this way today. But years ago, this was years, like over 20 years ago, I had a gentleman client and very in touch with his emotions. And I had him do one technique. I had my hand on his chest and I had him take a deep breath. And I said, when you exhale, I'm going to put gentle pressure on your chest. And I want you to exhale with the loud, like that.
Mhm.
He did that exhale, and all of a sudden, he starts crying, not like just a quiet tears, I mean, loud crying.
Mhm.
At first, it freaked me out, but and then I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. It's like something was there that needed to come
Mhm.
out, you know.
Mhm.
And then he
Yeah.
was so exhausted that he's like, Ani, I need to take a nap. Like he was exhausted. Imagine whatever stress it was.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, I studied NLP master practitioners. In NLP, that's one of the things we say. Like we don't need to know exactly what it was, what the trauma that you went through. You don't need to share with us, as long as you're open to letting it go. That's the
Mhm.
most important part. And with this client, it was just so amazing. He was just like cried out and he's like, Ani, I'm exhausted.
Mhm.
That was like so cool.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, it is good to know where you are, and understand that the nervous system also has its capacity. We cannot just st- s- stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch forever. Yeah, it has capacity, so we have to be merciful to ourselves and give our nervous system also some rest, and find something to do or to be where we can feel good. Yeah, when we can
Mm-hmm.
get that, even if we have a lot of challenges, when yes, so many different situations can happen, but we have to find the way how to get break and just get a little bit re, like relax, to relax, and also address those feelings which we have. Yes, and also we can even mentally go and screen our body and just feel all the organs and feel where we have that feeling of that.
There is a Taoist practice that some Taoist masters will teach you, like when you're doing, let's say, meditation or just body scanning. You imagine, you close your eyes, you sit or lay down, whatever, and you imagine, let's say, your brain. And imagine your brain and it's smiling. And then you walk yourself down, your eyes smiling. You go down, your heart has eyes and smiling, your organs, and that energetically, it actually plays a huge role in relaxing and calming your body. And it takes maybe like 5 minutes to just do like a full body scan. Like in the beginning, you said, close your eyes and visualize like where you have the tightness, where you have the pain.
Mhm.
This one, you do the same thing. You do just kind of a body scan, but you visualize all these organs just smiling, happy.
Yes, great. Yeah, amazing. Because when we cannot smile and we cannot be angry at the same time. Yes, so when we go like skating like this, if we go organ on organ and just imagine that they smile, it means that they relieve. We release that tension. Yes, and also if we find the organ which we feel sometimes when it is stressed, we can feel that in burning feeling in our gut. Yes, so in that case, we also can relax and just send love to that space place. Yes, send love. Imagine that like golden light which goes to that spot, and we send love and peace, and we just sit for a few minutes like this, and then we can feel that release, that it doesn't feel anymore. Yes, so stressful. And this is
Yeah.
important to take time for yourself, and watch, yeah, watch, uh, after you watch out, yes, where you have stress in your body, because you don't want to it to stay there, because we, as we already said, yes, that nothing remains the same. You are growing and you uh, becoming healthier, or you go backwards. Yes, there is nothing
Mm-hmm.
that stays, or you do something to make better, to feel better, yes, to maintain your body. Or if you don't do it, if you just keep things neglected, when your body
Mm-hmm.
already cries, and it shows to you even through pain, it shows you that something has to be addressed. Yes, and it is better, of course, to prevent, and this is how we can prevent, when we become aware of our feelings, and maybe every day before you go to sleep, you just have this good habit, just to
Mm-hmm.
body go to from top, yes, and to toes, and just go through your body and just make all parts of your body smile, relax, and this is how you sleep. And this will be a very great technique to help you
Yeah.
to go even through stresses, but you will be already conditioning yourself to go through challenges with smile. Yes, and it will help you so much when you have this attitude.
Exactly. And you said something about you. Well, we're talking about self-care. Self-care. It's such an important thing that we should do. At least take 5, 10 minutes out of the day to do that for our body. But it's so interesting. Sometimes I get clients in their 40s, 50s, and one of the things they say is like, Ani, as soon as I turned 40, my body started hurting. Or as soon as I turned 50, my body started hurting. And my thinking is, it's not the age you turn, it's just in your teens, 20s, 30s. We've been abusing our body. We've been doing so many things, not taking care of it. Like you said, it's not elasticity, can only stretch so much. And then at one point, like the analogy I like to bring to my client is like, imagine you're dusting your house and you just push the dust under your rug. Well, first few times it's going to be fine, but after a while you're going to see that little like lump under the rug because you keep putting it. The same thing is with our bodies. You keep, it only can handle so much. After a while, it's going to be like, okay, I'm done. Like you need to pay attention, and that's where pain kicks in.
Mhm. Yes, yes.
So, yeah.
Mhm. Yes, so it is all, of course, important to prevent. Yes, not when it comes and then we start thinking, oh, it is pain. I cannot sleep. I cannot walk. I cannot work. Yes, so it is so much do and wise to do to prevent and just love yourself. Yes, everything comes from self-awareness and self-love.
Hmm.
Because when you love yourself, you will love your body, you will listen to your body, you will understand how you feel, you will not over overcome those barriers when your body want to
Hmm.
rest. Yes, so you what being self-love means, yes, that you do what you can do and also you take rest, so you give your body to restore and to rejuvenate, and
Exactly.
all what we discussed can be such a great prevention of.
Yeah, and they say that prevention is better than cure, right? It's hell of a lot cheaper than cure. So, it's cheaper when you do daily activities than if something happens, then you're like in a panic mode, like, oh my God, how can I take care of this? And that can become very expensive.
Yes, and also very painful. Yes, and nobody like to be in pain. Yes, so it is a lot of things we discussed. Yes, so we encourage you to listen to this episode again because when you listen first time, a lot of things we don't hear. Our mind accept just something that we accept and we can miss a lot, so it is good to listen
Yes.
to this episode for a few times because really it a lot. Thank you, Ani, for sharing your experience and how you help people to live without pain. It was very valuable.
Thank you, Elena. Great to be here.
You're most welcome, and I'm looking to see you again in our future episodes.
Sounds great. Take care, everyone.